Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. We're talking about wanting to look better is not enough motivation for you to lose weight. Sit with that for a second because it's true. I know you want to look better. I know you think that that's going to be enough to get you to lose the weight, but has it worked so far? Because you want to look better the entire time. Has that helped you achieve your weight loss goals so far? Okay. We don't need much more proof than that. And the reason that that doesn't work, the reason that wanting to look better is not enough motivation is because scientifically, that is considered an extrinsic motivator. It is based on other people. If there was no one else on the planet, would you even care about your weight? Would you even try and lose weight if you were the only person on the planet? And if your answer is no, it reveals that your main motivation is this extrinsic one that is based around other people's opinion of you. And that is almost never going to be enough motivation to get you to the weight you want to be at. So what is the alternative? The alternative is to rely on intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the motivation you have to be the parent that you are, the partner that you are, the employee that you are, the son, daughter that you are. These are things that are deeply held within us, things that we do regardless of if anyone was around or not or knew about them. These are intrinsic based motivating factors, and they're the most powerful motivators that you can tap into. And it's the motivation that people that want to lose weight rarely tap into, because the diets have consistently focused you on the weight and how you look. Think about every weight loss ad you've seen in your life, and you've seen millions of them. Every single ad shows you before and after picture. So it trains you to think about your weight superficially, aesthetically, how you're going to look. And you miss the big picture. And what is the big picture? The big picture is that your weight is probably going to be the number one factor for how long that you live. It's probably going to be the number one factor for your quality of life while you're alive. And it's not because of how you look. It's because of how you feel. When you eat like shit, you feel like shit. You don't think as clearly. Emotionally, you feel down. You have a low self-image, low self-esteem, low energy. Your body's sore. This is the reality of the situation. And to put it into context so you can really see it, this would be like telling a drug addict or an alcoholic, hey, you might want to lay off the drugs. You're starting to get some bags under your eyes. It's silly. It's superficial. It doesn't explain what's really going on here. And just like an alcoholic or a drug addict, you wouldn't say it doesn't matter. It's not how you look. It's look what's going on inside you. Look at your life. Look at how you feel. Look who you're becoming doing these things all the time. And so if you really want to master your weight, you have got to master your motivation. And it begins by focusing on the intrinsic reasons that you want to make this happen. It's the person that you want to be, the way you want to live your life, the thoughts you want to think about yourself, the feelings you want to tap into and experience day in and day out. These are the things that are going to power you to get the weight loss results that you're looking for. And you can also want to look better. But wanting to look better alone is not enough motivation, and it's never going to be. So I hope this helps you out. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them, because I'm here to answer them as best I can anyways, right? At least I give you a different perspective. That's the one thing I can promise you. One thing I can promise you for sure is that I'll give you a different perspective. What's up, Moses? How's it going? Moses, you in France? I was a little tired by the time I saw you yesterday, but I know you said something about French. I know your first language would be French, but you live in France? It's fascinating. I find it fascinating. It's a funny world, like there's people all over the world watching this, and I find it interesting. I know most people are in America, in Canada, but yeah, it's always interesting when people from around the world. I find that fascinating. Moses says, had a thought today. Most people would eat junk all the time if they could all be thin no matter what. Yeah, absolutely, Moses. I agree with that 1,000%. And that's the shift you want to make. I wouldn't. If all of a sudden I could just eat fast food, junk food, bullshit all day long, I wouldn't eat it all the time, because you'd still feel like shit, even if your weight was low. And I think, by the way, this is where we're going to end up with the weight loss medicines. This is what I truly, truly believe, that I think, yes, at first, everyone's going to feel good and feel excited and feel better because they're losing the weight. No doubt about it. But if you're continually eating the same bullshit, just eating less of it and losing weight, yes, at first you're going to feel amazing from it. But ultimately, you just keep putting shit in your body. And again, everything's relative. So maybe they'll just be like, oh, I feel amazing compared to how that felt. But the real secret, I think, and again, this is why I always say, take your weight loss wrapped in personal development. It's not just about the weight loss. I hope, because a lot of the things you can do to lose weight are the exact same things you can do to really get yourself to be the person who really thrives and succeeds in life. And what are those things? Having energy, feeling good in your body, feeling comfortable, having stamina, all right, being able to move comfortably, mobility, independence, positive mental attitude, right? Because you're thinking positive things about yourself, you're proud of yourself, you feel good about yourself, you're happy with how you're behaving, the emotions you get to experience day in and day out. I don't know, and again, I do my best to share this with you because it pisses me off. I don't blame anyone for this other than the diet companies and the food industries. They're one and the same. But it's like the diet industry has done more damage, to people than all, they're just up there. They're up there with the smoking companies and the food companies. But they get us to think about this stuff completely wrong, in my opinion. And so, yeah, you shift how you're thinking, you shift how you behave. What's up, Jody? Jody, the Daily Thrive Hypnosis is amazing. Listen to all of them this morning before getting up. Thank you. You are welcome, Jody. And I know that. And I will tell you what Jody's referring to is in my program is an 8-week program. And each day you get a 5-minute hypnosis session in the morning. And then there's a 10-minute sleep gnosis session in the evening that you can listen to if you choose to. And all these sessions are built around weight loss mantras. And this is what literally this is one part of the program. And it's the most powerful part in the sense that it's easy. Like all you got to do is press the play button and close your eyes and listen for 5 minutes. And I do all the work for you. I calm you down. I relax you. I frame your mind in very positive ways. And just doing that alone tends to cause you to go make healthier choices during the day. And then when you repeat that process, day after day after day, it really does do a lot of the work to transform you from the inside out. So much so that I'm I'm going to officially say I'm officially at the point where I am going to offer that as a standalone program. So that's a big deal in my world. For a long time, I said, no, first I said, well, you got to have coaching with it because I'm going to do this without coaching. And I got the program where I want it to be. And then I offer it without coaching. People are still getting amazing results. And I know there's a lot of people that don't want to do the full program. I know that. And I know people just want to use hypnosis. And so that will be available to people very quickly here because this is its own standalone program anyways. But anyways, I'm glad to hear that, Jody. And then I see Deanna here. Yeah, she said, me too, Jody. I was going to tell him that too. Love the one today. Yeah, they're good. They're just good. That's what I do. I'm one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet. So I love talking about weight mastery all day long. I mean, that's my bread and butter that it nourishes my soul. But I got to remember the hypnosis is really powerful too, especially the way I do it. I know what I'm doing, So anyways, that's exciting for me because I have a bunch of hypnosis programs and honestly, I haven't even sold them in years. But I will make them available. And more importantly, I will make them available for the most reasonable price you can imagine. So I know, as I reflect on this stuff all the time, because that's why I do this podcast. My podcast is completely free. The emails I send you, the trainings I give you, I tell you, I give you more stuff for free than anyone. And the program, I know it's out of some people's, comfort zone financially. And I understand that. And so anyways, that'll be coming, but enough of that. I'm really glad you guys are liking that. And I know, and it's fun to do them again. I love doing them and I know they're good. And I know everyone loves those. That's my day off. Yeah, I'm sure, Jody. So I'm glad to hear that. I knew it, but it's good to hear it too. I know they're good. I see. There's Mario. Mario says, why does it feel like the whole day is ruined if I eat something unhealthy? Why does it feel that way? I mean, there's a lot of reasons. The biggest reason of all is your mindset. I mean, we'll just pinpoint it, right? Because it's not really ruining your day. And you know that when you're thinking normally and reflect on it. But in the moment, emotionally, it feels like it ruined your day. And why is that? It's not true, right? It's absolutely not true. But it feels true. And that's hypnosis for you, by the way, right? We're not logical creatures. If we were, none of us would be here. We would just do the right things. But we're emotional creatures. And so all of a sudden we do one little mistake and I feel, oh, I blew it, you know? And so in the psychology world, they would call that the what the hell effect. And it's especially prevalent with dieters. They've tested this. Like they've done studies and they're fascinating studies. And dieters, once they slip up, completely go off track. But the mindset piece behind that, I believe, I'll explain it to you the way I understand it, is that the diet industry has conditioned you to think about your weight loss in a time frame that's about this big, right? Dieters think about weight loss in terms of days, weeks, maybe months. And so what happens is, metaphorically, you're kind of thinking about your weight loss as if it were like a sprint. And if you run a sprint, it requires absolute perfection to win a sprint, right? If you run a sprint and you trip a little bit, you're going to lose the race. You can't win. Okay. So in a sprint, there is no room for error. You have to be absolutely perfect in order to win a sprint. And this is how you're internalizing your weight loss. You're thinking about a very, very short time frame. And the only thing that's acceptable in that context is perfection. And so the second you make one little slip up, it feels catastrophic. When in reality, it's not. In reality, your weight and your weight management is an ever-ending marathon, never-ending marathon. You never end it. You're not going to end your weight management until your last day on earth. And so it's bullshit. It's not true that it's a sprint. You've been conditioned to think of it as a sprint. And so that's why you all feel absolutely devastated when you make one little mistake in your diets. And that's just one little piece of the mindset fuckery going on with the dieting. And, without changing your mindset, I don't think you're ever going to change your weight long term. You'll lose weight for a little while on a diet and then you'll put it back on, right? So, you better be careful of that. But again, it's a mindset thing. It's all your mindset. All right, so they ate healthy for most part, but had some Ben and Jerry's, and now it feels like the whole day's ruined. Yeah, no, I get it. If you think like a dieter, you're going to act like a dieter and you're going to feel like a dieter. You think like a weight master, you're going to feel like a weight master and you're going to act like a weight master. You know what I mean? It's kind of simple, like in that sense. So, that's why though, that helps. What's up, Nura? How's it going? Nura says, hi, I hope you're doing great. I am doing great. I'm doing a lot better. I was kind of a shitty mood yesterday. But I feel great today. Which, by the way, I learned that I would get to your question, Nara, but I remember reading this. It was The Way of the Peaceful Warrior and Carlos Castaneda. I love those books. But one piece of mastery, like for me, so much of my focus day to day is really not about the eating piece as much as it is about the lifestyle piece. So in Program Yourself, then we have the weight mastery pyramid. There's mindset, lifestyle, eating. And the lifestyle piece I find as I continue down this road is really the one I most am kind of focused on and work to develop and get right. And part of the lifestyle piece is really being aware of where you're at. And so I would say the last month, 2 months they've been a lot of fun, but again, even good things can be stressful. And so I've had a lot of stuff going on. So I've been depleted. And this week has been there's been a ton of things going on that are good things, but they're still stressful. I still have to think about them, plan things, phone calls, talk to people. It's just a lot of stuff. And I just kind of hit a wall, but I recognize that, and I recognize, okay, I'm short with my family. I'm in a bad mood. I can feel it, and I notice it. And so what do? I go to bed early. You know what I mean? I don't get up and meditate in the middle of the night. I stay in bed and I just get some extra sleep. So I changed my schedule to fix the problem. And I know it may sound simple, but it takes a lot more sensitivity and skill than you would think, because a lot of people get tired and they don't recognize it. And now all of a sudden they're in a bad mood. They're short. They're eating shitty. They're staying up later, drinking, eating bullshit. And it just snowballs, so it's a sensitivity to recognize where you're at and then to adjust it. So anyways, I am doing great. That's your question. I'm curious as to where and how you got your hypnosis training. I'd love to learn more about it. So I'd like to know where would be a good place to start. That's a great question. And I'm going to give you, I think, what's going to be an unsatisfying answer, but I give you the best answer I can. And I hate that sometimes I have to give you answers that are unsatisfying. It makes me crazy, but what can I do? My hypnosis training really started, I would say, with Tony Robbins. And he had a personal power program that was a month-long program. And each day was like an hour. and you would listen to the audio and you would do different things and whatever. And I went through that 10 times, 15 times in my life. I thought it was great. That was kind of a beginning point. And then I started reading lots and lots and lots of stuff. Tony Robbins was an NLP guy originally. So I got into neurolinguistic programming. That was huge for me. That's really what I consider to be the foundation of everything I do, with hypnosis too. But to be honest, a lot of hypnosis training, I think, sucks. I think a lot of that, I find the best part of hypnosis is the concept of hypnosis, the conscious, subconscious mind, how to communicate with the subconscious mind, how it works, all that. I think that part's great. A lot of the hypnosis techniques you learn, that, do they work? Do they not? Or is it, I don't know. Because you can get away with a lot of bullshit with hypnosis, just to be honest. I take no bullshit oath. NLP to me, and some of it's held up and some of it hasn't, fair enough. But I think to me, it makes so much sense. And so that's the core foundation. So what I'm saying to you is that my hypnosis training originally, I think I probably studied hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming and personal development on my own. And I was doing yoga and meditation, all this stuff intensely for probably, I'm trying to think here, 2003, probably about 10 years, 10 years on my own, obsessively. And then I went and got certified. And I got certified through a place called Bennett Stellar, out in Sedona. Magical time, amazing experience, incredible. And it was kind of an intensive certification, and it was awesome. I don't even know if they're still around anymore. My long-winded answer to you is that my original training was done on my own, seeking it all out. And I think that's the best way, because I hate to say this, but I don't see, and I'm not saying there's not things out there because I haven't looked for it lately, but I don't see a lot of great hypnosis NLP training, just to be completely honest. And so I have always felt that really learning and mastering hypnosis and NLP and coaching and doing all these things, it's almost like learning an instrument. And, someone can teach you, but at the end of the day, it's up to you and how much time and energy and focus you're putting into it. And I was absolutely obsessed with this from the moment I discovered it. And so I would say, I can't say like, oh, go hear it. Because I did that. I said, holy shit, this was an amazing certification program. It was incredible. I told a couple of people that they went to, and they're like, hey, it was okay. And I realized, I said, well, geez, I went into there 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like I knew a lot, but I was obsessed with this stuff. So, what I would suggest is look up the NLP stuff is where I would start. Again, I don't know where you're at. There's diving into linguistics is the one of cornerstone pieces of NLP. The structure of magic's amazing. It's a dry reading. If you're into linguistics, it's fascinating. But if you're into more change work, Frogs into Princes is incredible. Reframing's incredible. Transformations is amazing. These are NLP books. And so I think that's a good place to start. I think any of the Tony Robbins early books, I think, are amazing. I think he's got great books, and teaches it well. And I think those are good places to start. And then see how you feel about it, learn a lot about it, and then seek out certification training programs if you want to take it to another level. That's what I would say. Yeah, Vicky, what's up, Vicky? How's it going? Vicky says, mindset's pivotal for the long-term weight mastery and weight management. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely essential. And I think this is one of the core reasons why dieters have a, 95% failure rate is you never change your mindset in a diet. You keep your mindset rock solid and you just keep trying to do the same shit over and over. So I think you got to change your mindset, Allison Reed says, I'm trying to eat intuitively, but it doesn't seem to give any results. People on TikTok say it's the best way to lose weight. I can't seem to understand what my body craves. I just eat everything. Allison, I won't be telling you intuitive eating is the way to go. I think intuitive eating is the dumbest fucking plan on the planet. I think that's the number one dumbest plan. And I hate keto. Well, maybe carnivore. Oh boy, they're all so stupid. It's hard to pick which one's the dumbest. So why is intuitive eating stupid though? Right? Sounds like it makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna listen to my body, you know what I mean? I'm gonna listen to my natural hunger cues and signals. How could that be wrong? Because you don't fucking have any clue what your hunger signals are. Your intuitions are the things that made you overweight. Do we even know what intuitions are? And I'm not picking on you, Allison. I say this to everyone with the intuitive eating thing. Your intuitions are exactly what got you into this problem in the first place. You can retrain your intuitions to some degree. But here I am in front of you 30 years into the process. I would not trust my intuitions. I trust them I have a structured way of living and eating. And within that, I can kind of trust my intuitions a bit. But you got no chance in hell None of you do. None of you, if you're overweight and you're struggling with eating and all the rest of it, please do not listen to your intuitions. Like, that's like telling, like, let me reframe it just to show you how fucking goofy it is. It's like telling a drug addict, hey, you know what? Just listen to your body. Oh, you're an alcoholic. Just, you know what you got to do? Intuitive drinking. You got to intuitively, you got to stop. Listen to your body. When you got a slight buzz, you stop. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, Jim, it's asinine. Yeah, I know. Because your intuitions are crazy. No offense, but you know what I mean? Like, what do you think your intuitions are? You know, now I know what they're trying to say, that what you could listen to your body because what a natural environment, a natural situation for millions of years, we could just listen to our body. You couldn't listen to your body millions of years ago. You took a caveman and put him in a grocery store. They're going to eat everything in sight. So I think that intuitive eating thing is I wouldn't trust it, but again, I knock yourself out, knock yourself out. But I think that you know, your natural intuitions are to eat everything you can while you can. And so to follow your intuitions in this environment, this food abundant environment where we're surrounded by hyper palatable processed foods that are addictive and easy to eat, good luck. Let me know how that goes. You know, let me know how the intuitive eating goes. Now, if you structure your eating, that can look like you would follow me around. Like, holy shit, look at this guy's intuitions. But that would be an illusion. I'm following a structured plan. And so, you know, I don't know. I think that's just another marketing bullshit thing. And when I see it work for people, then maybe I change my mind, but I haven't seen it work for people, you know, because just like you said, I'm trying to eat intuitively, but it doesn't seem to give any results. My body craves, I just eat everything. Exactly. So exactly. That's exactly what happened. She says, is it possible to keep up the weight loss after stopping fasting? I know fasting is probably the worst thing for me, but I can't help but wish to lose faster. I feel stuck. Yeah. I mean, Allison, I hear what you're saying, and I have deep empathy for you. I want to understand that. But at the same time, you know, your struggle is the struggle of everyone. That's a dieter, right? You're locked into this diet mindset, and you want to lose weight fast. And again, I mean, it's just basic math. If the way to lose weight the fastest is the most extreme. It's that simple, and there's no outliers here. There's no. If the fastest way to lose weight is the most extreme. It's that simple. There's no way around that. And then you have to go the other side. The most extreme thing is the least sustainable. And so, yeah, dieters, I know you're so impatient because you've been trained to think that way. And there's some of it's natural, obviously, as well. But it's I don't know. Good luck. You know, it's like it's like instead of committing to college, you say, no, college just takes too long. I want to learn all this stuff now. I need to learn it now. I want to get I want to get my degree now. Well, how? You fucking can't. I don't want to plant a seed and wait for 3 months to get my tomatoes. I want my tomatoes now. Well, you can't get them now. What do you want from me? There's a natural order to the universe. You just can't, you know? And you guys keep trying to break the natural order of the universe. And what are the results? You know? So again, Allison, my job here is not to convince you of any of this. It's to point it out for you so that as you keep trying all these things and you realize, and they don't work. I'm not sitting here. I hope they work for you. I'm not sitting here saying, I want all the diets to work for you. I want you guys to kill it. I want you to knock yourselves out and lose the weight for good on keto, lose the weight for good intermittent fasting, lose the weight for good alternate day fasting or fasting maxing, whatever the shit you want to call it. Do the extreme thing and stick with it for the rest of your life. I want that to work for you. I want you to understand that. I'm not sitting here hoping for your downfall. I just know that it doesn't work for most people. So that's what I'm talking about. But again, my job here is not to convince you to go slower or whatever else. I'm here just to let you know that when it doesn't work, why? You know, and to let you know there is an alternative. If, you know, maybe you'll have to be 67 years old before you finally decide that. I don't know. But again, you know, because you're going to start to realize, I think dieters live in this, again, I always call it dieter dementia, but it's like you've got, how many times have you tried this? You know what I mean? It's like, why would this time be any different? You know? And so I don't know. I don't know how to fix dieter dementia in people, you know, other than I'm just here and maybe the 30th time you try it and it doesn't work, maybe then you'll hear what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. But you will realize it more and more, you know. Allison says, I know I sound crazy, but I can admit I'm lazy to do long weight loss. I wish I could. I mean, honestly, that's a goofy thing to say because it's way easier to master your weight for the long term. It's like again, it's like if you're going to go to college and do 4 years to get your degree, or you're going to cram it all into 4 months. It's like saying, oh, I'm too lazy to do the 4-year plan. I got all the energy to do the 4-month plan. No, you don't. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just not true. But again, Allison, what I'm helping you do, and hopefully other people are learning from this, is I'm just untangling your brain. And I'm not, again, this isn't about you, Allison. I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on the dieter brain. It's just a bunch of bullshit wrapped up inside of bullshit. And you have no idea. There's no clear path for you to walk. And that's why all you dieters are completely confused. You have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea what to do. You've got a bunch of half-ass baked, vague-ass, superficial, inadequate, ineffective plans. Oh, I'm going to stop eating for 16 hours. Yeah. I'm going to fast. Oh, I'm not going to eat carbs anymore. I'm going to eat 1,000 calories, count every calorie. It's like, that's like, so, you know what I mean? It's like, again, I always say this, it's like the piano. It's like, if you want to learn to play piano, it's like someone saying, oh, the piano playing is easy. You just have to hit the right keys at the right time in the right order, and you got music. And it's like, well, okay. I mean, I guess, like, technically, I guess that's true, but that doesn't mean fucking anything. Like, to actually play a song on it, that means absolutely nothing what you just said. And that's kind of like what the dieting is. Like, yes, it's technically true that you can do those things and lose some weight, but it's not really true in real life. Like when the bullshit of life comes and all of a sudden you can't stick to your 16 hours of not eating, or you're out going on vacation, or you're at a birthday party, you don't want to be a carb free. It's like, in the real world, the shit doesn't work out. Isn't that obvious? Because you're all not dumb people. You're not lazy. You're really, I mean, maybe you are, Allison, I don't know, but most people that listen to me are not lazy at all. They've done tons of stuff to try and lose weight. But what you'll look at, if you really evaluate your diet mindset, it's a bunch of half-baked ideas in there. There's no, again, I say program yourself then as a comprehensive, holistic plan to master your weight that includes the strategies to change your mindset, to get your lifestyle on track, and to get your eating in the right way, in a way that's practical and comfortable for you to live with the rest of your life. Well, what other plan would you say is even anything like that? I mean, just name me some names, anything. What's a plan that's even close to being a holistic, comprehensive approach where we deal with your mindset? Because you got to deal with your fucking mindset, don't you? Don't you? Or what? No, you know, you just need another diet plan. You just need some other macronutrient strategy. I'm going to cut my carbs by 20%. I'm going to increase my fat by 1%. And I'm going to reduce, the protein by 15%. I mean, what, like, how much more times can you just think that the macronutrient manipulation is the secret to weight loss? You know, which isn't the saying, like, obviously that is a level on some level, but do you not think how you think about yourself, how you feel day in and day out, your lifestyle? Don't you think these things matter at all? You know, I don't know. I get so worked up with this, but I care for you, Alice. I'm not picking on you. I want you to know that. Yeah. Allison says, my brain tells me just eat as little as possible, but then I binge and lose all results. Well, Allison, I get your brain says that, but can you tell your brain that, hey, you know what, brain, whoa, brain, that doesn't work. We've tried that 100 times and I always just end up eating more. And maybe it can. Again, people are different, you know, but my sister was also a little overweight and she managed to get it all off by just fasting until goal weight and made me feel like a loser. And I get that boy, nothing's more triggering than when someone you know loses weight, right? Does anything trigger a diet mindset more than that? Probably not, you know? And again, I don't want to be negative to your sister, because I'm happy for her. But again, I mean, I would bet money. I wish there was a way to bet on people's weight loss. I know that sounds negative, but I'd be a kabillionaire. Because I mean, I bet, again, how we get to a goal weight and being able to stay there are two totally different things. And yeah, because you're all fired up and excited. Again, I always say this every day, but most dieters trade the pleasure of the food for the pleasure and the excitement of the scale going down. And then when the scale gets to its final point, there's nothing to look forward to. And you go back to the food. You know, there's more to it than that, but that's a big part of it. So, I mean, again, I don't want to sound negative, but I mean, there's a great chance your sister's gonna put all that weight back on. You know, I don't want her to, but I mean, it's 95%. I don't know. Sorry, this is embarrassing. You speak lots of truth. Now, don't be embarrassed either. And I know it feels embarrassing when you realize this stuff, but again, I'm proud of you. Yeah, she's managed to maintain for over a year. I'm so jealous. Hate to say it. Has to be something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. I mean, if there is anything wrong with you, it's your mindset. But that's great for your sister to maintain it for a year. So there's always outliers and things. But yeah. What's up, Joy? Shereen says, yeah, joined Weight Watchers over 10 times. Definitely diet dementia. It really is, right? It's literally diet or dementia. That's one of my favorite phrases. All right, let's get to TikTok. Sorry, TikTok, I've been missing you. What's up, Chuck? How's it going? Chuck says, Jim, your program creates lasting change from the inside out. Thanks. Yes, you're welcome. I love all the free stuff. Yeah, free stuff's awesome. Moses, yes, I'm in France. My only excuse for being mean to you at first is that I'm French. It's in my nature. I love that. Moses. That first interaction was wonderful. But I guess you guys aren't as bad. What I see, like I saw, is it in? Because I always thought like French. That's kind of the what's the word? The perception is French people don't like tourists, But then I read about in like Spain, they're like spraying them with water guns and stuff. They really hate tourists. But that's all right. I was in the US last year and I will say it's crazy how many fast food places are everywhere. Can't even escape them. Oh yeah, it's crazy here. It is just, it's the land of obesity. The land of obesity here, It's an obesogenic environment, And yeah, there's fast food every corner. It's crazy. It's challenging. I mean, no doubt about it. It's a challenging environment, for sure. Mario says, I don't think I caught your response to my question a couple days earlier, but did you notice people treating you better since weight loss in any way? People treat you better. Like, it's not like what you think though. I mean, cause like the people that know you are just, they bust your balls no matter what. But the people that don't know you, I mean, no one says anything. I got to tell you all this, like, because again, here I am. I sell a weight loss program, so it's like I'm not here to sell it, but to sit here and tell you, if you get to your goal weight, it's not as great as you think. Like it is in one way and not another way that you think. I think a lot of people internalize like, oh, I'm gonna get to my goal, and everyone's gonna like you think you're gonna be like some celebrity. People want to take pictures of you and like, oh my God, look at them. And it's like, it is like that for a little while. People are like, oh my God, look at you losing weight and it's looking great and all the rest of it. But then after you're at your weight for a while, just no one gives a shit. It just, no one comments on your weight loss a year later. Oh my God, did I tell you today, you're the same weight you were last week and it's amazing. Like no one says that shit. So do people treat you better in general? I think yes. I think it's an implicit bias people have, I think, and I could be wrong on that. I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, I don't know. I find it, I always find like there's things we all see with our eyes, and then there's like what we're allowed to say and not say. And, to be honest, I find that with politics a lot. It's like, I see what I see with my eyes, but I can't say it. And I think both sides are equally I don't want to get into that, but it's just, we just live in this crazy society where it's like, you see what you see with your eyeballs but then you can't say it. And I think obviously there's biases against weight, and it's not right, obviously, but it is there. And so, do people treat you better? I don't know, but I will tell you this, that when you feel better about yourself, a lot of that shit doesn't even matter. I think that factors in too. I think when you weigh what you want, you feel in control and you're happy with yourself and you're proud of yourself and you feel good, I think you exude a whole different energy. And so that comes into play too, of how people are going to treat you, the confidence and how you walk around and how you feel about yourself. I think that sends out an invisible broadcast signal to the world. And I think people respond to that, So what's up, Victoria? Hi, Jim. Here's today's reminder to make a cheat sheet of your basic concepts. Thank you so much. It's funny. I was just talking to my wife and it's like, I'm so excited. I've been a little bit flummoxed. I'm always looking to make Program Yourself Thin better. And I've made it better. It's so good. It's better than it's ever been. And now the question kind of became like, how can I make it more accessible? And you reminded me that helps me with that. And then some of the stuff I got coming on, I'm just so excited about. But the PYT cheat sheet is the stuff. Can't wait yet. So thank you for that. And keep reminding me, by the way, Moses, I'm excited to know how Jonathan's crazy diet is going. Me too. And again, I wish him the best, and I will do anything I can to help him with that, because I want our friend Jonathan here to be able to get his weight loss results and look the way he wants to at his wedding and his pictures. Kathy says, I don't like to get overwhelmed because I make worse choices. Oh, agreed, Kathy. I think managing your emotional state is ground zero of mastering your weight. You can know all the greatest stuff in the world and you get upset, and emotional and depressed or stressed out, you're going to eat like shit most likely. What's up, Astrid? Moses says, why do so many people succeed with intuitive eating? I don't know about that. You know, again, you guys got to understand with social media, you have to understand this, that there's a I don't know what the word would be, but what happens is you see, let's just say you're on an algorithm, right? Say on TikTok, for example, and you look up, well, you watch me, right? So you watch me and now you're going to get a steady stream of weight related content. And then let's say you watch a intuitive eating person and they're talking about how great it is. And you watch the whole video. And so now they say, oh, they like this content. So now you're going to start to get a bunch of intuitive eating stuff. And what it does is it conditions you to think that everyone's doing intuitive eating. And this applies to anything, by the way. So it could apply. This is how people get themselves. This is how people do that in all areas of their lives. But certainly that's how you get to be a carnivore. This is how you get to be, keto. This is how you get to be intermittent faster. This is how you get to be an intuitive eater. You just keep going down these paths, and so it starts to feel very quickly. It starts to feel like the whole world is intuitive eating, and everyone that's doing is thriving and succeeding. That's the way you got to do it, And so that's why you got to take a step back and see the bigger picture. This is why I try to tell you the diets are all the same. Intuitive eating is interesting because it's just bullshit. I don't know, well, whatever. Maybe it'll work for some people and won't work for others. I don't know. So I'm not here to be negative. I don't want to be negative. I'm negative with the diets for sure. Intuitive eating seems like it's not a diet, but I have huge reservations and doubts about it. I do, but that's me. You know what I mean? And so if it appeals to you, go do it. I'm not here telling you not. Go do whatever you want to do. Do keto, do carnivore, do intuitive, do any of it. But if it doesn't work, you can ask me why, and I will tell you why. As I said, I don't trust myself at all. Yeah. Well, most people that are overweight trying to lose weight don't trust themselves very much. And I always say that's one of the best parts of programming yourself is you learn how to trust yourself again. Oh, what a shift that is. Kathy says, I think I do so much better if I follow portion control and stop at one drink. Yeah, me too. I'm structured and that's the plan I follow. And so is my way the only way? Obviously not, but my way is never talked about either. I never hear my way. So I get out here and I just, my world is my way. My world's program yourself thin. Does that work for everyone? No, it does not. As a matter of fact, well, I don't know. It's funny. That's one of the big differences I'm making. And I decided to do this finally, is I said, there will be two versions of my program. One will basically be the hypnosis version. So you can get it and just listen to hypnosis sessions in the morning and at night. Cause it is super powerful. And I know this. And then the other part is like you learn the program yourself thin method and you learn that you go through the blueprints, which is it's for people that want to dive deeper into it. They want to really, really master their weight. And I realize there's two totally different types of people out there. And it doesn't make sense for me to withhold the hypnosis piece because I know without question, it's the number one hypnosis program on the planet. There's nothing even close to this program. And so I kind of made a decision, well, all right, I'll put it out there for people that want it because it's going to help a lot of people. I know that. Just because I think this other way is even better doesn't mean I should withhold this part from the people that don't want to do this work, And so that was a big shift for me. But that's my world. My world is changing your mindset and reprogramming your subconscious mind. That's how I think about all this stuff. And so does it fit everyone? Absolutely not. But for the people it does, it works. And it's how I see it. Because I look at all these other ways of weight loss. And if something worked great, if they came out with some new diet that was absolutely amazing, I was thriving with, I would be promoting it. Like I would be telling, hey, do this. I'm not here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be like, oh, put everything down. So I'm the only solution. I don't think that necessarily, but I think the diets are all the same. I think they all miss the main point, which is what do you do with your mindset? I think intuitive eating is an illusion because I think it makes it seem like you're doing something different here. And you kind of are, but I think it's just, I don't see how it's going to work for the people that I know. It wouldn't work for me. So anyways. Yeah, Kathy says achievements and goals take time. Yeah, absolutely. Here. Patience is like, boy, it's a lost skill, Spence 86 says, thank you for being a straight shooter. Well, you're welcome. I like being a straight shooter. And it feels very good to get out here and be able to say that. It really does. I tell you, it's very, very, I don't know. Sometimes I get worked up, but you have to understand it's like, I've been doing this for 30 years and again, I always get my clients. I'll tell you, I'll share this with you. One of the best things about what I do here is it was hard. The first 10 years of my life, I was obsessed with this stuff. And so, but I wasn't working with people. And so people around me would hear, I would want to talk about it, and they don't want to hear it. So doing this professionally has been the greatest gift ever for me, because I am able to talk about this stuff all the time, and it frees people in my personal life not have to hear about it. So that's a great thing. FRS, I don't know how to say that. Freck says, "Hey Jim, I'm 188, 6 foot, was 315, but still chubby and loose skin, but also scared to maintain. Any tips?" Well, congratulations. Wow, what an accomplishment. Geez Louises. That's almost a half your body weight there. Great accomplishment. I would love to know how you did it. Loose skin. Yeah. Scared to maintain is interesting. Does that mean you're getting close to your goal weight and you're scared to maintain? Because that's very common. Or have been maintaining for a little while. Maintenance tips. What I'll tell you, because there's too many of them and you deserve the whole thing, but please, and this is, I just want to get on my hands and knees and plead people that have lost like 25, 50 pounds plus. Please, please, please go to my bio, click the link and get the hypnosis session and watch the video I made for you, please, because you put so much effort and work in. And unfortunately, if you've done it with the typical diets, you haven't changed your mindset, and you've got to change your mindset, and you got to change it fast. Okay. To maintain what you're doing. Maintenance all starts with mindset. And so I don't want to give you some kind of just like one-off thing. I want you to really get the thing. If you watch the video is 20 minutes, and obviously you're a committed person who takes action considering what you've done. So please watch that, because it will, I can't tell you how, I can't talk about maintenance with you in a diet mindset. You know what I mean? Like, we've got to change your mindset, and I'm not going to, I'll just share in the video. You'll kind of get a bigger context of what I'm talking about, and you deserve that from what you've done here. All right. Kay says, I know when I mess up in a lot of areas, it's some common sense. Yeah, sure. Alice says, I've been intermittent fasting for over 5 years and have maintained my 47-pound weight loss. Great job, Alice. That's awesome. And again, hey, listen, folks, I like, you have to understand this. You have to remember this, that any diet, carnivore, keto, paleo, intermittent fasting, Weight Watchers, literally any diet, there are always going to be a couple people that succeed long-term with it. I'm not disputing that. I'm not sitting here saying diets don't work. They work to help you lose weight. The big problem with diets, and this is an established fact, is that people lose weight, and then most of the time, estimated 85 to 95%, I've seen different numbers, put the weight back on ultimately. So that's what I'm always talking about. But even in that, right, we take the worst number, 95%, that means 5% of the people are keeping the weight off with that strategy. But that's not a very good percentage. And so we have Alice here who's done it, and that's great. And so what you have to watch out for is this diet think, where it's like you see someone like Alice says, "Oh, I'm on intermittent fast now," and then you try intermittent fast, and it doesn't resonate with you. But you think, well, Alice did it, she did it, so I got to do it that way. That's what I'm trying to say to you, is that you got to stop doing that, because you've got to build this around you. Clearly, this way works for Alice. It resonates with her. Clearly, 5 years, that's absolutely. Once you get past 2 years maintaining it, doing what you're doing, I'm learning from you. You know what I mean? Like, Alice is the type of person I would talk to her and I would be like, how did you do this? Now, I know she says intermittent fasting. Okay. But intermittent fasting is just the external technique. It's just the tactic. I know for Alice, she internalized a lot of things differently once she started doing it. She's changed lots of things about the way she thinks about food, about herself, about her lifestyle, about how she's living. Guaranteed. And I would want to know those. What triggered you? What did you start doing? How did you approach it? How did you think about it? How have you optimized it? How do you live with it now? How do you think of the future? What foods did you eat? What are the biggest distinctions you made? These are the things I'd be asking her if I was interviewing her, learning from her. These are the questions I've asked hundreds of people that have lost weight long-term, all different ways. How did you do it? And while the ways are always different, some of the Weight Watchers, keto, low carb, low fat, whatever, what happens is the mindset pieces are surprisingly very similar. And that's what I focus on. So again, I'm proud that Alice did that. And I think that's great. She's a great person to learn from, but not the intermittent fasting piece is not the main thing I'd focus on if I were a person that wanted to lose weight, because that part's the easy part. Oh, just don't eat for 16 hours and eat for 8 hours. Well, shit. Everyone's intermittent fasting is trying that, and most people don't succeed with it. So clearly for Alice, something was different for her. And so I'd want to isolate that. It's something in here that's different. And that's what the diets never talk about, because they just say, oh, the reason Alice succeeded is because she followed this plan. Here's the plan, follow it, and you'll get the same results. Well, we know that's not true. There must be something different there. And that's what I try to get to, that core. What is the difference? How did Alice do this? What's her history? What's her story? What was the difference this time? These are the things I want to know, because these are the things that will actually help you. Not me telling you, oh, how do you do it? Oh, you just stop eating for 16 hours and you eat for 8 hours. 47 pounds. Boop, 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 5 years later. Do you know what I mean? Because again, lots of you try different fast, it hasn't worked. So it's not the plan, it's what's going on in here. So what do you think about occasionally having pizza? I think it's great. I think occasionally having pizza is a wonderful strategy. I had pizza last night. Thank you for your videos. You're welcome. Thank you for saying that. How does intermittent fasting help with weight loss? Is it dumb to ask? I thought it was just about how many calories. Well, it is, but it's a strategy. It's a strategy to compress your eating window. You know what I mean? It's a strategy to reduce calories. Every diet is the same, folks. Please understand this. Every single diet is exactly the same. It's a way to reduce average calorie consumption. Okay, that's it. And so intermittent fasting strategy is to compress your eating window to 8 hours instead of it being, for a lot of people do the flip around, right? A lot of people are only not eating when they're sleeping. They're eating 16 hours a day and not eating 8 hours a day. So if you flip that, there's a good chance that you're going to consume less calories, And, I know intermittent fasters like to go into the science of how the last 2 hours are burning fat and all the science of it, which I'm not disagreeing with. But I see it primarily as a psychological strategy to compress your eating window, which leads typically, because again, it takes a lot of effort to track your eating. So it's a structured way of eating on top of it. I structure my eating. I think you've got to structure your eating, because that kicks it off to the subconscious mind. So you have to focus on every little thing. And so if you're intermittent fast, all of a sudden you compressed your eating window to 8 hours. So now you only have to pay attention to eating for 8 hours. You only have all 8 hours of making food decisions. And so, just by nature, that's going to help you eat better. But then there's the flip side. For most people that I work with, and I work with outlier, people that don't thrive with it, because intermittent fasting, the other side of intermittent fasting for a lot of people is it becomes a great strategy to become a binge eater, because people get so hungry during those 16 hours, especially last 2-3 hours. And then by the time the 8 hours starts, they're overeating during the 8 hours. I can't tell you the number of people I've worked that tried intermittent fasting that haven't lost any weight or gained weight. And it's because during that 8 hours, they're just pounding food because they're so hungry. So again, nothing's as simple as, oh, here's the plan. That's if you get nothing else out of what I'm saying, please get that. Okay. Kathy says, I make better choices for myself. I mess up, I take the blame. Yeah, for sure. How to manage my emotions. Yes, that is a big one. Yeah, managing your emotions is the whole game. How do you manage your emotions? I don't, it's not like I don't have answers for this. It's just that they're long answers. Well, let me say this. You create your emotions. Let's start there. You don't just, I know it feels like you just feel the emotions, but that's because the way you process emotions and generate emotions, you generate emotions. Okay. It's not the external thing. Right. That's one of the most important things you could learn when it comes to your emotions, because a lot of people think, oh, something sad happens out here, I feel sad. No, there's external reality, there's stimulus, there's an interpretation of it, and then there's the experience of it that we have. But the interpretation phase is taught to us by culture, people we grew up around, our experiences in life, things like this. And so you can have the same person experiences the same external thing, respond completely different to it. So that's where we start from, is that you generate your emotions. You don't realize it because it's subconsciously happening and you do it on autopilot. You subconsciously generate your emotions as easily as you do brush your teeth in the morning, right? You don't know how you're brushing your teeth. You don't know how you're walking across the room. You've got no idea how you're walking across the room. You just know you can do it. So, oh, I'm moving. No, Jim, I'm moving one leg and the other. Yeah, how are you moving your legs? How are you keeping yourself balanced? Yeah, you don't know. You just do it. Right. And you're generating emotions the same way. And so it's the process of how you're generating those emotions is happening subconsciously. So again, that's what I mean. Like this is a kind of a meaty subject, but understand that you generate emotions, I think, is the starting point, and you can kind of take it from there a little bit. But yeah, you're in control of your emotions. I don't want to say you're completely in control of them. I think that's silly, but you can influence them a lot more than you probably know how. And that was a huge, I always say this, the very foundational piece of my weight mastery was getting a handle on my emotions. I was a binge drinker and I was 50 pounds heavier than I am now. And I did crazy shit. I was just self-destructive. And why? I believe why is because I had all this roiling rage, depression, sadness, anger about my father dying when I was 9. And I had no idea how to deal with it. And so I dealt with it by running 100 miles in the other direction, trying to ignore it, doing crazy shit. And so it wasn't until I finally was able to make some peace with these emotions. So, unsatisfying, but what can I do? Sacrificing Soul says, talk about emotional eating. Okay, emotional eating. The thing about emotional eating to understand is that you're not trying to just stop it. Okay. You want to understand it. You want to understand what emotions are triggering the eating, because, a lot of people say, oh, it's emotional eating. And it's just like, oh, whoa, every emotion, eating everything all the time. No, you have specific patterns. I promise you've got 3 main emotional eating patterns. You get depressed and you eat. You get happy, you eat. You get lonely and you eat. You know what I mean? There's specific patterns you have of emotional eating. And so you need to understand what they are first, because the solution to fixing depression triggered binging versus loneliness triggered binging versus happiness triggered binging. You know what I mean? Like, those are they would require 3 totally different solutions, because they come from 3 totally different problems, but I think people say, oh, I'm going to stop emotional eating. So why? Because I'm just going to use my willpower and stop myself from emotional eating. Well, that means that you never even resolve the emotional problem at the core. If you feel lonely and then you go and eat, thanks, Jonathan. If you feel lonely and then you go and binge, and then you say, okay, I'm going to stop emotional eating, so I'm going to stop eating when I get lonely, you never solve the problem. Now you're just a thin, lonely person. And that's not going to be enough. So we want to figure out which emotions are triggering the emotional eating. And then we want to say, oh, let's say it's lonely. Then we say, okay, sometimes when I get lonely, I binge. Then we say, okay, when I get lonely, how do I want to feel instead? Well, I'd like to feel connected. I'd like to feel loved. I'd like to feel, engaged with someone in some capacity. And the more specific you get, the better the solution is going to be. And then we say, okay, how can I do that? Oh, maybe next time I feel lonely, I'll call, a friend. Next time I get lonely, I'll go to the movies with a partner of mine, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to find real solutions to the emotional problem. We can't just stop emotional eating. That's just dealing with the symptom. We got to get to the core level and deal with that. So Moses says, yes, ever since I started watching your videos, my whole FYP is with dieting advice, but it's very much everything you're against. I know. And that's the funny part. I find it I can't talk. It's funny, because I was just talking, like, I might start doing, I don't know what you all think. So give me some feedback if you think this would be good. But someone was telling me, like, oh, you should start doing reaction videos to a lot of the dieting advice online, right? They're like, that would be really funny and entertaining. And I'm like, it probably would be. I don't know if people want to watch that, but then I got to watch that bullshit. But maybe it would be good. Maybe I'd be doing something good for the world. I don't know. So I meant to ask you all that. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments. Would you want to watch that? Would you want to watch reaction videos of me reacting to different weight loss advice and dieting advice? I don't know. I don't know if people would want that or not. Astrid, I'm trying to get back on the bike when you're on live, but I'm afraid of the pain. Other reason, the Pavlov dog reaction is gone. Oh yeah, the pain for sure, Astrid. So what I would suggest, Astrid, is that you, when your knee's uncomfortable, you have a plan B and C available to you. And it could be doing some simple stretches while you're listening. You know what I mean? It could be relaxing your shoulder, going into your body and relaxing things. We want to have different options, Astrid. We don't just have like one thing. That the bike is great when your knee's feeling good, but because that's probably exactly the reason. But when your knee's hurting, yeah, that bike's not very appealing. So I think you want to have a couple other options that take into account where your knee's at, right? And see how that works. Good choice, bad choice. As I've been following your advice and making small changes for 4 months, it really works. Hey, what do you know, right? It does work, folks. I'm telling you, like, I'm not just some guy to start saying this. I've been doing this professionally for 20 years. And yeah, I would never share shit that doesn't work with you. So that's great. Good job. Good choice, bad choice. I love that. Let's see. What's Instagram saying? Eva says, listen to your podcast every day for months, focusing on water, sleep, salad for lunch, and movement. Have lost 9 pounds. Hey-o. All right. Great job, Eva. Proud of you. So crazy. This is what a life, That's great. Keep it up. Keep it up. That's awesome. Allison says, I'm scared to have stretch marks and loose skin. Is there any way of avoiding that? And she says, wow, I definitely have diet or dementia. Yeah, Allison, I mean, to be honest, you're so incongruent right now that that's why I say like I don't want to get into that, but yeah, stretch marks and loose skin. I know people are scared of that sometimes, and I get it. But what I always say is you got to bring it out from back here, just a generalized anxiety and fear about it, and bring it out in front and say, okay, am I willing to be overweight because I'm too scared and don't want loose skin and stretch marks potentially? I had stretch marks and stuff when I lost the weight, and it's about my back, my armpits and stuff. Didn't love it, and I know people have way worse loose skin, so I'm sensitive and I'm empathetic to it. But ultimately it does come down, if you will let it stop being a generalized anxiety, fear in the background and bring it out in front of you and ask yourself the question, am I willing to live being an overweight person because I don't want to have loose skin or stretch marks? And then sit with that and decide, Vicky says, listening to your podcast and going through and listening to the bonus sections of PYT, helping me manage after dinner eating. Oh, for sure. Yeah. The bonus section of the PYT alone, like that shit alone is like worth 10 times the price of the program. I mean, it's just crazy. Great job, Vicky. That's awesome. E, what's up, E? So that's key internal conversations. The pleasure foods at mom's yesterday would have landed me. The pleasure foods at mom's yesterday would have landed me with overeating normally, but I heard my thoughts yesterday shift, overfill in my social cup instead. E, I love that. That's my favorite thing. That's what we do in Program Yourself Thin. It's all about this conversation in your head. And when you change that conversation that's going on in your mind, your behaviors change. And when your behaviors change, guess what? Your weight and body change. So great job, E. Deanna says, I think that might be fun to watch you do that as well. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a couple and we'll see where they go. Right. It will be funny, but I feel like once I start doing them, I'm just going to be doing them all day. I can see myself getting addicted to just like dumb shit. Cause I'm I have to like check myself. I'm definitely susceptible. And I don't know if this is a common term, but like hate watching, like I'll find something, people that I just think are goofy or I can't stand. I'll keep watching them. So I got to watch out for that. But I know if I do that, I will do it because it's so funny. Like if you look at my feed, I don't watch any weight loss stuff because it's triggering to me. You know what I mean? You can't, how can you sit here and watch people, tell you, the sun's out shining and people are telling you it's cloudy raining? You know what I mean? How long can you, listen to people tell you shit that's completely ass backwards, but if I'm making fun of it for videos for the world to see, that'd be funny. It would be funny. Maybe I'll do it. Victoria says your contribution to the world is truly phenomenal. Keep it up. Well, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate saying that. Linda Ryan says weighing daily works for me. I'm up 15 pounds and must get back on the scale. Yeah, weighing daily. Yeah. And I think that's what it's good for, especially, you don't have to weigh daily forever. I think it's just that it's kind of like, well, the scale, you can use it or not use it. Again, I think that the number one thing is you got to build whatever you're doing around you. And if you've got like complete and total paralyzing scale anxiety, then don't use a scale. Okay. But if you're going to use a scale, I think using it every day is the smarter move. Because weighing yourself once a week, you're just missing it's like reading every 7 pages of a book. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. And it's like, you're just missing so much shit in between there. Why? Because you're scared? Like, stop being that way. Stop being a fearful person. And I know it's a little easier said than done. I get that. But if your intention is to be in control of the scale and use it as a tool, you can change it. I promise. I've done this with too many people. So you telling me like, oh, I'm scared of the scale, I can't change it, means nothing to me because everyone that comes to me has these limiting beliefs. I had these limiting beliefs and we changed them. So I'm not convinced by people's limiting beliefs when they present them to me right off the bat. And so how you feel about the scale is not the only way you can feel about the scale. Just because you feel that way about it doesn't mean that's the only way. And so anyway, so I like the scale too. Linda says, I'm interested in hypnosis. You should be. I should be. That's why I say I am excited. The more I think about this, I'm really fired up. That I will be. I'm doing it. It's official today because I want to stop thinking about it. But I'm officially going to break the program up in different ways. In the hypnosis piece of it, I am going to offer just the hypnosis if that's what you want to do. All right. And you'll be, if you choose to upgrade to the blueprints and the method to use as well, that'll be there for you. And ultimately it'll all be the same price, but you can start off with just the hypnosis and it's going to be $97. And it's guaranteed. If you can't, and it'll be a payment plan. So, But again, I want to help as many people out. And, Jesus Christ, $97. It's like, you couldn't even work with your local hypnotist down the street that does this, 1 day a week, for $97. So there's nothing more I can do after that, But anyways, yeah, if you're interested in hypnosis, by the way, anyways, you should go to my bio, click the link and get the free hypnosis session I gave you. That session alone is worth a $100 session with the local hypnotist. I promise you. I'm one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet. Okay. And not only that, but I absolutely the number one. That's my other thing I'm going to be is America's Weight Mastery Coach. That's the other branding I'm going to go with. But, I'm a hypnotist by trade. And so anyways, go get the free hypnosis session. It's the new Thin Me. That's what it's called. It's a kickstart session. And, it's just free. And I promise you, if hypnosis is going to have any effect on you, I would test that one out, for free. And then if you like that though, then yeah, oh man, the Program Yourself Thin program is so sick. And I know I've bundled it together and I kind of lost the plot a little bit by doing that for people. I know this. But what the program is and what it will be is offered as is it's 5-minute session in the morning. Right. And, each session's different. This is what I'm trying to tell you. See, this is what hypnosis programs for weight loss are bullshit. I hate to say this because I want to support my hypnosis colleagues, but again, I can't tell a lie. Like they're bullshit because at best they will work initially, but then you will listen to the session over and over again. It becomes less hypnotic. Okay. Hypnosis requires that it's fresh and it's new. That keeps it hypnotic. And so there's also an aspect of hypnosis of repetition, but the repetition has to be done in a unique way because as soon as you get bored of it or it's coming, it's less hypnotic. It doesn't work. So the Program Yourself Thin is 8 weeks. Every day you get a 5-minute hypnosis session with a different weight loss mantra in it. We go through the same process so you master how to relax, calm down, center yourself, turn inwards, become more aware of what's going on in here. And then you're hearing all this positive, supportive messaging, all built around one weight loss mantra that for that day. And what happens is we think in mantras, folks. We think in it's called heuristics. We take long ideas of things and concepts and we boil it down into phrases. That's how we think. And so this is all built to work with how your mind works, especially your subconscious mind. And so you sit there and you listen to you start your morning off with this 5-minute hypnosis session. You relax, you calm down, you get this good stuff put in your brain, and it affects how you live the rest of your day naturally. And then at night, if you choose to, you can listen to the sleep gnosis session. Each week for 8 weeks, you get one of those. So there's 8 total. And each one of those has a core weight loss mantra in it that we really build everything around. And that's a 10-minute session. And when you bookend your day with these sessions, it's profound. It's a profound impact. And I know part of what led me to say, okay, I'm going to offer this on its own is I've been getting messages from people. They're like, I got the program. I was like, okay, I haven't done the blueprints yet, but I'm listening to hypnosis. And it's been absolutely game changing. And so I kind of like, okay, I'll let people decide, And so anyways, so yeah, if you're interested in hypnosis though, anyone, go get the free hypnosis I give you. And on top of that, you could search SoundCloud, Jim Katsoulis. You could search YouTube, Jim Katsoulis. And I got a bunch of hypnosis up there for free. And so I'd strongly recommend you go check that out. And if you like that hypnosis and you want to master your weight, then I'd strongly recommend you get the Program Yourself Thin program. But, go test the other stuff out first, Stars for Life says, how about a pregnancy? I'm scared if I get pregnant again, I will gain everything. Yeah, I know. I get that too. I understand that. Pregnancy is a tough one, right? Because you're going to gain weight and you should, most cases, put some weight on. The secret with the pregnancy that I've found is it's about what you're eating. And I think for pregnancy, see, this is the diet thing. The diet thing's always built around restricting calories, lowering calories. And I think what's really important is transforming the calories into healthy ones. And never is that more important than pregnancy. So I think the secret is to really take that focus and not put it around, I have to eat less. I don't want to gain weight. And put that energy into, I want to nourish myself and my baby as much as humanly possible. And I think that focus very often leads to weight management as well. So that's the suggestion. Moses says, my mind keeps telling me to go back to carnivore because it worked years ago. Yeah, I get that, Moses, but that's the conversation. Our mind says all sorts of crazy shit. Well, in Program Yourself Thin, we talk about, this is based on a little bit of transactional analysis. You've got kind of this child voice, this parent voice, and an adult voice. Now we all have a child and a parent voice, but and even if you didn't have a parent growing up, you had someone that basically raised you de facto. So we all have a child and a parent voice, but we don't all have an adult voice. And in Program Yourself, then a big part of what we do is develop an adult voice in this process. Because right now, if you're a dieter, you're all locked in this parent-child dynamic. And it's most of the time with the diet thing, it's what we call the pig parent. It's kind of like the worst qualities of your parent, right? When they were kind of obnoxious or disciplining you or mean to you or critical. And then the child responds to that and you're locked in that. And he said, "Oh, we should come on, just do carnivore. Carnivore works." And you're like, "Oh, I don't like it. I don't like just eating meat." No, you got to do it. And we get in these weird, dumb conversations, just repeat over and over. And what we want to do is bring in the adult voice. That's literally what I look to do with my clients, is to become a surrogate for that. I look to install in your mind. And people say this all the time to me. This is what the hypnosis is meant to do. Is people always say to me, my clients, "I can hear you in my head." Well, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking to do. No doubt about it. I'm looking to be that adult voice who's encouraging and supportive and effective, that points out the effective thing. And so while the parent and child are bickering back and forth with each other, the adult comes in and says, "Listen, just relax. Let's think about this. Carnivore, yes, you lost a lot of weight when you did it, but that what ended up happening? Well, I didn't feel good. I didn't like it. I didn't feel like I could keep it up. It was too hard, all the rest of it." Okay, fair enough. So what would happen if you did it again? Would the same thing happen, do you think? Yeah, probably. Okay. So what else can we do to get control of our weight? And so it's like, I like this tone, this energy, these questions. They're solution oriented. The tone's calming. It's encouraging. It's supportive. And this is completely opposite of how you all are talking in your head. You're talking in your head like you're just screeching, come on, frantic, and that frantic energy is leading you to overeat, literally. The voice in your head is punitive, it's mean, it's frantic, it's stressful, it's tense. And so that's where you'll be with the carnivore thing. And so the adult voice, again, and I know that's a big part of, that's what I do here. I mean, even people listen to the podcast, but the podcast, I'm not speaking my hypnosis voice. You got to understand that, folks. I'm not dropping F-bombs and swearing all over the place in my hypnosis sessions, by the way. It's a total different version of me, because I'm looking to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system and cause you to think in this more calm, relaxed way. And when you start doing that, a lot of times the solutions and the answers are obvious. You're not able to access them because you're in a constant chronic state of stress and frantically yapping in your ear. So that's how to respond to that, Moses. Yeah, Dan says, yes, that's a good point. You have so much to do, but it would be funny if you sort of did one for the Oprah one. Yeah, I'm going to do those. I'm definitely going to do it. Now I'm going to do it. Because like I said, my fear is I'm just going to do watch out. Someone promised me you'll have an intervention with me if I start doing like 10 reaction videos a day. I get nervous that I'm going to start just like, you get addicted to doing them. Because I love it. That's why Moses was here busting my chops the first time he came on. But I love that stuff. I love going back and forth with people, because I think you need to see more of that, honestly. I think the diet viewpoint just gets a free pass. It's just like nonstop diet perspective. And so just to see an alternative, I think that's helpful, Yeah, Dan said, I love that. Reading every 7 pages. Yeah, you're right. You totally helped me get over the scale fear. You can get over the scale fears, folks. Speaking of managing emotions, right? Yeah, Dan says that too. It's hard during pregnancy. Sometimes you want to just eat carbs. I want that. And I should have said that too. When you're dealing with pregnancy, there's also just giving yourself grace. It's a stressful experience, on top of that. So, you want to nourish yourself as much as possible, but you also want to utilize having more grace with yourself, because it's hard. It's stressful. There's a lot of stuff going on, so don't be, good Lord, if there's ever a time you could not be critical with yourself with your weight. But that's why I say, you don't want to be critical with your weight when you're pregnant, but at the same time, you don't want to just be like, oh, who cares? It doesn't matter what I eat. And so the way we get around that is we focus on nourishment. Okay, I'm going to eat some carbs and some bullshit here and there, whatever, it's fine. But as long as I got a foundation of nourishment, I'll be okay. And I think that's a good way to go about it. Yeah, because I use the scale as a daily reference point so I can adjust consumption as necessary. Yeah, absolutely. Angelita says, right, consistence daily keeps up exercise, Mediterranean diets. I assume, yep. Let's see. Linda Ryan, maybe hormones come into balance. Whoops. Hold on a second. Shit. There we go. Above it all, what do you think of the ketogenic diet? I saw what you wrote. It's funny to me. He's too long-winded. I am pretty long-winded, no doubt about it. But I'm a hypnotist. I'm used to just talking to myself, being alone talking. But what do I think of the keto diet? I think it's stupid. Charlene says, I agree with you, mindset, but have you found a link to obesity and trauma? Oh yeah, there's tons of links to obesity and trauma. No doubt about it. Absolutely. And there's a bunch of them, we had, I don't know if Allison's still here, but, it's very common. I mean, I find this especially with women, that there was some assault or trauma experience by a man in the past, and now they're using the weight to keep themselves protected and secure, or they feel that way anyways, So I think that's a common one. And I think that there's all kinds of links between trauma and obesity. So yeah, there's definitely, definitely. I love to go on weekly runs, but I guess activities don't help weight loss, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, not only. I mean, I wouldn't focus on the activities and the exercising to lose weight. It's getting that there. And again, but you should run if you like. I love going to weekly runs. I go weekly run because while the calorie burning part of it may or may not help you lose weight, the feeling good about running and doing something active and that stuff, I think that's going to support your weight better than the calorie burning that may happen, So yeah, you should do it. Yep. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. It's very entertaining. It says great stuff worth listening to. Okay. I'd love to watch that. All right. Oh my God. People do the reaction videos. I know for a fact people would love to see you go crazy. Yeah, maybe I'll do them. All right. Well, there we go. You'd love to watch it. Yeah, there's so much dumb content, right? So maybe that'd be a good way to kind of, just another way to get some messages out, right? Yeah. Does it serve your mission though? Yeah, that's a good point. Does it? I don't know. I don't like to harp on negative stuff. And that's what I've always said, because it's like, it would just be constantly, this shit's wrong, that's stupid, that's dumb, that's dumb. You know what I mean? So I don't want to come out as like this negative person. It's always, oh, it's stupid, that's dumb, that's dumb. Although, and I do that here, I know, but I try and balance it out with, content and ideas. So I don't know, but would it point out, would say, oh, what it would do, like on the other side though, like, is I feel like there's so many people, and this is literally why I do the podcast, is that I feel like there are so many dieters out there that are blaming themselves, right? So I'm broken. There's something wrong with me. Oh, look, that person didn't intermittent fast only 50 pounds and I did, and I gained 5 pounds. I'm a loser. I can't do it. I'm weak-willed. I'm a food addict. And that's the thing. Like that's literally why I do this, is to like let you guys off the hook that it's really not you. It's and I really believe this. And I say this because I get the dipshits on here sometimes. They're like, oh, well, just count your calories or just intermittent fast. And it's like, they just make it sound so simple. And then they'll always inevitably get to, well, it's just because people are lazy. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah, obviously there's lazy people. I'm not obviously, but the people I work with are not lazy at all. And they were struggling with their weight. So there's nothing to do with laziness for most people. And it's the people that people are overthinkers. I say this every day. You know who you are. You're not lazy. You just haven't been given a plan. You don't know how to think about this properly. And I think sometimes doing, reaction videos and pointing out the dumb shit about these plans might be freeing for some people. Whatever. I'll try it out. We'll see. How about pregnancy weight? I mean, you're going to gain some weight and you probably should for the healthier thing, but again, that becomes a mindset thing. I know. Feel bad. This is the stuff, it's like you have this moment in life where you're going to have a child and it's like, you're just anxious about weight, it makes me sad, but I get it too. I'm not judging. Yeah. Moses says they would prove your point. They would prove my point. So maybe I'll do it. Yeah. Oh, okay. See, Moses says, can I be honest? Of course you can be honest, Moses. I will say, Moses, right? Our relationship is built on honesty. I absolutely love your content, but I don't believe hypnosis. It must work for only some people. No, I know a lot of people think that and say that. And I think, I literally thought the same thing when I started, because to be honest, my entrance into hypnosis was through NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is another way to say that is that my entrance into hypnosis was always self-hypnosis. I never went to the local hypnotist and got hypnotized and changed. Okay. So I want to make that crystal clear. I understood hypnosis through the concept of how my mind works and why I do what I do. Because I think to me, the core human dilemma that psychology never addresses is that we're all doing shit that we don't want to do or not doing stuff that we want to do. And we don't know why, right? You want to eat better and then you go and eat ice cream. You want to go exercise and then you just don't do it. And it's like that to me defines being a human. And I was the same way and still am the same way to some degree, but I could never understand it. And I think hypnosis explains a lot of this, that we have a conscious and a subconscious mind. They operate differently. And our subconscious mind's in control. And we're trying to speak to our subconscious mind the same way we understand things consciously. And they speak two different languages. And so we need to learn how to communicate with the subconscious mind. So I always learned hypnosis through self-hypnosis. And I literally came up with a phrase that I use that is the cornerstone of everything I'm doing, which is self-hypnotic programming. It's a bit of hypnosis and philosophy, and it's neurolinguistic programming. Those are the two core things. And so I don't believe in hypnosis either, in the sense, I don't believe me going to see a hypnotist and being hypnotized by them and them reading me a script is going to change shit. So that's not the hypnosis I'm talking about. The hypnosis I'm talking about is not me trying to get you to do something or, oh, now you're going to eat well. And, it's not that. It is telling you things that are common sense and telling you into a way that your subconscious mind understands. And so, yeah, I don't believe in hypnosis. So no judgment here. I believe in self-hypnosis. I believe we're all our own best or worst hypnotists because we're always up in our head talking. And so I don't believe in hypnosis, but I believe in self-hypnosis, I guess. So I think I agree with you, Moses. Yeah. Carrie says it's all about believing we're hypnotized every day our whole life. We absolutely are. Again, but we're the ones hypnotizing us. Well, we are hypnotized by outside forces too. So I guess I do believe in hypnosis. I don't believe in the traditional, like, oh, I go see a hypnotist, they hypnotize me, I change. I don't believe that. Which is why I don't do that. Okay. And honestly, even when I work with people privately, it's very rarely me doing the hypnosis to them. It's me coaching them. It's me communicating with them. Most of the hypnosis I do, by the way, is conversational. So I'm influencing people's subconscious mind. I'm programming the subconscious mind while we're speaking. I'm doing that to you all. I'm speaking in certain ways to your subconscious mind, which is why people that listen to me all the time get changes because I'm using hypnotic techniques. So it's weird. Does work, but it works in ways we don't think about it. Linda says, my nurse mother would say the best diet is to just shut your mouth. Simple truth. Yeah. Pregnancy made me ravenous. Eat healthy foods and it's going to be okay. Skip too much milk and peanuts. No, that's good advice. Again, it's the healthy foods, like that's, I think, put most of your energy into eating healthy foods, and you should be doing well. Yeah, Victoria said, good points. Maybe it truly would serve your mission, right? Well, I appreciate that, Victoria. And I appreciate you I love that question. I trust you all. I really do. I take what you all say, to heart. Danny says, hey, Jim, any tips on how I can remind myself to not be all or nothing? Yeah, not being all or nothing. Well, again, you have to understand, first off, we can't just stop being something. This is a core problem with the diets, is we're just trying to not eat the wrong foods, stop being overweight, stop overeating, when in reality, we have to learn to be a new way. And so the same thing is true here. You can't just stop being all or nothing. You have to start being something else. And that something else I would suggest you be instead is all or something, right? To stop being all or nothing is going to be hard because what would I do then? Creates a vacuum. Being all or something is easier because at least now you know what to do. Now it's going to take practice. You know what I mean? You have to catch yourself being all or nothing again, but instead of saying, oh, I got to stop doing that. Well, okay, well, what do I do? Is what your brain says. Oh, I'll be all or something. I'll do something. I'll do something. I'll do something. I'll do something. And that's the big difference there. Yeah, Deanna. So this is for the pregnant person being pregnant. Please give yourself grace. The weight will mostly come off quick, and then you can do the mindset things and focus on nourishing. Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. Allison says, I feel so validated knowing that other women have the same experience. I was never binge eating before, but after it happened, my whole brain changed for the worse. Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. That food changes you, Deanna says it's so fun when he gets mad. I'm gonna be mad all day. That'll be my. That's a good point. He goes against his positive message, but he did take the no BS oath, so he doesn't feel. So he doesn't feel it might be good. I think it'll be good. I don't. We'll see. We'll see. Right. And I'll take your feedback on what you all think of him. Allison says, my mom has been telling me to finally get it together and lose the weight, so I feel very rushed to do it fast. I can tell skinny people are more valued. Yeah, I know. That's the challenge. And again, I'm sensitive to that to you folks. You understand that. Like, I know I rail against the fast weight loss thing all the time, but I also know you all live in a world where you're experiencing pressures, but it's important to you to understand. I know you may not believe this, but those pressures really ultimately are self-generated, and you can change them, and you'll be better off if you do, because if you can slow your rush down and feel more patience, it just sets you up to get much better results. But I know it's a challenge too. I'm not obtuse. Yeah. Dana says, my first obese set made me so stressed out. She kept saying that you can't gain more than 25 pounds. No one needs that stress. Yeah. Relaxation as well is just crucial, really important. Yeah. Okay. So Deanna's in the program, and she said it's kind of, speaking about hypnosis, it's kind of a more positive messaging to help change your mindset. I think hypnosis brings up other images. I might have said I don't think it works either, but it's not like that. Yeah. And I know exactly what you mean, Deanna. I think hypnosis is different. It's a weird thing. They've goofified hypnosis, and they've made it seem really weird and stuff, but it's not what you think. That's why I give the session away for free, so you can just experience it and see what it's like. You don't go to, a trance is not. The weird thing is, like, you always go into trances. You're always being hypnotized. You have a hypnotic brain. Every time you watch a movie or a TV show, it's a hypnotic state. You're aware of what's going on, but you're passively absorbing it, and you're using your imagination, right? When you watch a movie or a TV show, you're imagining you're in that scenario, and you're getting the experiences that you would get if you were in that scenario vicariously. It's literally a form of hypnosis. So it's not some weird thing you've never experienced. The weird part is going and like being one-on-one with a person and closing your eyes and doing this and having them talk to you. Like, that's the weird part. I get it. But the process of being influenced and using your imagination when people talk to you or give images to you you do it all the time, Yeah, he says PYT is the answer for me. When I was in a trance, I know what to do, but why I can't do it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's the big challenge. I know what I should do. Why am I not doing it? And again, I mean, what it all comes down to is you don't know how to program your subconscious mind. You do what you're subconsciously programmed to do. What's your favorite healthy meal you would recommend? Oh boy, I'm not even going to answer that, Allison, because I would just be throwing more confusion onto your confusion pile. So I'm not even going to do that, because it doesn't matter what my favorite healthy meal is. You've got so much other work to do to tell me, you know what I mean? Like it's like, you got a house that the foundation's cracked. There's holes in the walls. The windows are missing. And you're asking me, what's your favorite color? What color should I paint my house? What's your favorite house color? You know what I mean? Like, you got bigger fish to fry than that question. So I'm not going to confuse you with that answer. Deanna says Moses is on here a lot. I think he is getting hypnotized more than he thinks. That could be true, Deanna. I think that's such a good point. That's so funny. Vicky says, how's Jonathan doing? Yes, he's doing all right. I was in conversation with him recently. So yeah, he's still working with me. He's still in the program. So yeah, he's there. But this is what happens. You know what I mean? Like, again, weight mastery is a long-term game, and then there's ups and downs, for sure. Yeah, Allison wants to know how Jonathan's doing. Well, we'll find out. Jonathan just started. I don't know if he's doing it or not. We were talking to yesterday, but we'll find out. So where are you at, Jonathan? You start yet? You start cutting your calories by 50%? Moses says, that makes so much more sense. I thought you were one of the people who hypnotized others to completely change behaviors. Yeah, I guess I didn't understand that right. And hey, listen, no one understands it right. I'm a hypnotist, and I've had to find my own meaning and definition of what hypnosis is. And I think if you ask 100 hypnotists what hypnosis is, you probably get 100 different answers. It's that way. So yeah. Yeah, Kathleen says the all or something mindset has kept me going. Yeah, all or something mindset is absolutely, that's one of my greatest creations. The all or something mindset. Victoria says, I'm in the program too, and feel like the hypnosis sessions are a lot like guided meditation. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they're definitely like guided meditation. Yeah, 100%. And I think of meditation as different as guided meditation. I think of hypnosis very similar to guided meditation. Kathleen, I've done the 8-week program. I'm still not getting emails. Kathleen, can you shoot me an email? Can you send an email to Jim at Program Yourself thing? Because that way I guarantee I will fix it. Because I know there's an issue in my program, technically that's causing an issue with some people that were in the program that aren't getting the emails, and I need to fix that. But if you could send me an email, I will fix that for you today. That's funny. Deanna says, yeah, he'll not make you think you're a chicken and run around the room. Why do we all have that image of hypnotist? We do all have that image of hypnotist, don't we? And I think, you all know I'm a conspiracy theorist with certain things. And I think that there's a concerted effort to make hypnosis seem like a goofy thing, because hypnosis was literally an accepted part of westernized medicine in the early part of the last century, because there was no anesthesia. And so people used it as anesthesia. Doctors used it as anesthesia. It was a big part of medicine. Obviously we got chemical anesthesia and that went out the way, but there's so many benefits to hypnosis. And I think hypnosis is overstated most of the time. It drives me crazy. I think people just think goofy shit with hypnosis. Like, I mean, you may think it's goofy, going to cluck like a chicken and sing like Elvis or some weird stuff. But then on top of that, other people that might think like, oh, I'll lose all the weight because I'm going to get hypnotized. How would that work? You know what I mean? It's like, so, it's overstated and understated. People just have wrong expectations of it. But I live my life through the paradigm of hypnosis. I think of everything in my life, I think through hypnosis. So if I want to learn, if I want to change something with myself, I want to do something different, good or bad or whatever, I always think of everything through the hypnotic thing. And I think it gives me a lot more insight into what leads to my behaviors than anything else I've seen. So yeah, Kathleen says, for me, the hypnosis keeps me feeling more positive. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. It makes you feel calm, relaxed, and I'm putting lots of good stuff into your mind, and in a very intentional way. I mean, that's what I've been doing professionally for 20 years is how do I communicate with people to get them the results they want? That's why I'm one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet, because I know how to do that. Yeah, Allison says that. I thought about that at first. I was like, is this guy really doing magic to make you lose weight? I am doing magic to make you all lose weight. It is magic in the sense that I always hear from my clients, like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing to me, but I'm losing weight. I don't know. And that's part of what I've kind of come to the conclusion of this week. That's what I'm talking about, like by making the hypnosis sessions available for everyone without all the other stuff, is that I know I can help people lose weight just by them listening to my sessions. I know that. But a lot of me for a long time has said, well, I want people to understand what I'm doing. And I think that's an important piece. I do think to master your weight, you need that. But I can help you lose weight. It doesn't matter what you know. Like you can do whatever you want to do. You can do your keto plan. There's a lot of people that's too far for me. I need to do keto to lose weight. So I said, okay, do keto, but listen to these sessions, you'll lose weight, So anyways. Yeah, Allison says, so glad we found you, Jim. I would have been so confused for years and years. True story. Again, Allison, I tell you, it's the same thing I told you the first day that you got on here. The first thing you got to do, like I would stop looking for diets because you got an incongruent goal. You don't even know if you want to lose weight yet until you resolve that core issue. Genuinely, I think you're always going to have this tug of war effect within you. Part of you wants to lose weight, part of you scared to lose weight, So I would spend some time really getting clear on whether I really want to do this and how am I going to deal with that if it happens, but yeah, I've developed anxiety. I think it might be caused from food and extra weight, hoping my mental health also changes. Yeah. I mean, all of it impacts itself. You know what I mean? Again, it's all related, of course, Oh, what's up, Ronnie? I see Ronnie over here. I missed a couple of those questions. Weight Mastery Path has been shining a light on all my insecurities regarding playing small all my life and seeking comfort. How can I deal with feeling scared about addressing these hurdles? I mean, Ronnie, it's all the same stuff. This is why in Program Yourself Thin, we talk about the self-image. You need to. That's I say that, Ronnie. You know this shit, and I don't know why you say you get the program. You should have got the program because you're a smart dude who would do well with it. I know this, but that's why I say you take your weight loss and wrap it in personal development, because this isn't about just losing weight. This is about becoming the person you want to be. And so the same reasons that you overeat and are overweight are the same reasons you're playing small in life. You know what I mean? Like it's not just the weight. The weight's it's more like the weight's a symptom of a deeper problem is how I typically see it, you know? And so I think you need to transform your self-image. You need to become the person you want to be, not just, oh, I'm just going to lose weight and then everything's going to magically change. It's I want to start playing big. Like, who do you want to be? Again, what we call that in NLP, we call it a well-formed outcome. How do you want to live? Who do you want to be? What's the best Ronnie? What kind of life do you want to lead? You know, and you can do this in all the different areas. You get specific about it. It's not just weight. It's all the areas that are important to you in your life. All right. All right, everyone, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much. As usual, you guys are awesome. Really awesome. I really appreciate getting to know all you and hopefully give you a little bit of guidance and light to get to the results you want. So yeah, if you're not in my world, please go get my hypnosis session. Click the link in my bio. Get the hypnosis session, watch the video, read the emails I send you, watch the special things I send you, check them out because they'll all help you out. And if they don't, they're free. Give the shit then, right? And then the podcast is Program Yourself Thin. It's on all the major podcast platforms. Go check it out. We do one every day. So if you want to ask questions or talk to me, I'm here every day, usually Monday through Friday, noon to 12:30. We start, kick off, usually here for an hour, 2 hours, somewhere in that ballpark. And happy to talk to you. And so you can listen to those sessions if you're not able to make it. And then, yeah, if you're really serious, go check out the program. And yeah, that's that. All right, everyone, have a super duper day and we'll talk soon. Bye.